So we did the lookup ramp. Now let's also, or rather we did the fit to range here. Let's also do a lookup ramp here. Now this one is going to be weird. For this one, I really go to town on this. Same kind of principle that we just saw, where we kind of have the general look here. But what I like to do is I kind of just keep subdividing these values, just so that it's generally doing the right thing. And I like to make these kind of bubble looking things. You can see it desperately trying to keep up over there. We're gonna kind of make this choppy looking thing here. And this will make perceived detail within it. So by dropping out a lot of the temperature here, we actually lost some of that gold that I liked from before. So I'm going to move this back down. And this is the kind of thing, we're going to keep cycling around, keeping these guys playing nice with each other. So there we go. So we got kind of that gold. See all that detail we have now? Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to turn this ramp off. And let's do an actual regular pyro render, or rather Mantra render here. So not this thing. Let's do a regular old one of these guys. So here we go. This is what we now have. When we looked at the first one here, this is basically the render of the fire without having this remapping at all, and without having these, cuts out of it. And then with it, we start to see how it's adding detail into it. So what we once had were these kind of bigger, blobbier areas, and then now we've got more of these like ribbons and balloons and things. It's just more little bits of detail everywhere, and that's by saying, instead of just knowing that we have a bigger blobs of temperature, we're treating those temperatures as if they themselves have greater changes within them. So that's a step. And then really what we're going to want to do is keep going. And if we're going to get this really going, you might as well just make this full screen. And we don't even really need to see the result out there, but just making like stuff like this, just making this whole like kind of bubbly structure, maybe, something like this. I'll probably work on this. This is the kind of thing like you're going to tweak that. You're going to look at what it's doing. You'll do another render. You'll see I'm doing renders here now in mPlane instead of relying on this. In fact, I'm just going to turn this off for now. And that's because, the interactive render is not as great for small details. Here we're going to want to really, get into it and see the little details that it's adding into it. So I'm going to take a minute to kind of try to find what I want to do. This is kind of your artistic sensibility is finding this. And we will continue from there. 1 second. All right, so this is more or less where I ended up on my little chart thing here. And I went ahead and rendered that also. And so there it is. So now we're really starting to see lots of little bits of detail all over the place. So starting here, kind of blobby, even for accounting for the brightness, where we can kind of recover some of it. It's still, big shapes. And now we're seeing lots of, see the small shapes coming in now? That's kind of what we want. We want to find a way to get these small shapes in there. Cool. And that is exactly what we got. So yeah, so some kind of crazy looking, a couple like swells here. It's still trending towards this, kind of like a stock market, but we want these big, deep cuts coming down to introduce unexpected cool areas here and there.